In 1971, the world was ablaze with a paranormal awakening. The Exorcist and Amityville were quickly on the rise, and ghost stories were becoming popular once again. Through it all, the Becker case promised to break through and become one of the most sensational stories to come out of the paranormal sphere. This is the story of the Becker family and the first ever televised exorcism.
Good evening, obsessors, oppressors, and possessors. It is I, your humble host, Alec McCann, and with me as always,
Julia.
And we are back, but not with another Reddit episode. No, we have no compilation today. We have part one of our, I don't know how many parts episode, but it is one full story that I did. Finally. But before we get into that, we do have some announcements. We have merch getting ready to go up on our socials. Instagram and Facebook. I don't know if there's like a third one that just lets you put stuff up.
Not sure.
Nobody's on X anymore, I don't think. Well, maybe they are. Check X. Maybe we put it up there. We have an account. I don't know that we use it, but it's there.
I don't know that I've ever been on X for any reason.
Nah, I don't know that I have either. But they will be there. We have canvases. Those will be $10. Those are the only things we know in terms of pricing. We have to look at everything else. But we have hoodies, t-shirts, all with different designs. If you want to see the designs, what you do is you go to our Instagram or our Facebook, look at the pictures. The designs will be there. You can be like, I want this one with this, color, hoodie, and shirt, and we'll get it to you. And we'll let you know what all the shirts cost. And did I say laundry baskets? We have laundry baskets.
Yeah.
The laundry basket.
I can't remember if you said it or not, but yeah.
The laundry basket design is cool. How many loads? It's like a single load, isn't it?
Yeah, and my loads are pretty big.
Yeah, so
that I do, and it fits all of them.
And the basket itself, it's a cloth basket.
So you can also wash that.
Yeah, you can you do anything if you don't want that. It's a picnic bag. You could use it as a picnic bag. Yeah. Like it's
just a tote bag.
Yeah, just a tote bag. But we have those as well. With that being said, we also, next week, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Next week, we are doing something special. So it'll be the episode that comes out after this one, right?
Yes.
In the future.
Because this one will come out
the week that we recorded.
Yeah.
And then that one that we recorded will come
really,
out.
when people are listening to this week we are recording that one.
The week that you're listening to this, we are recording not really an interview.
But she is telling stories.
Yes, she is telling stories. A new author, you may have seen her book ad in our latest episode. And you may have seen us shout her out on Instagram and Facebook. It's Allison Gunn. She's coming on. The author of Nowhere. She's coming on to the show to tell us some ghost stories that have personally happened to her, which is really cool.
And she's the author we saw last week.
Yeah, on last Sunday.
We recorded.
Yes. So hopefully, if she listens to this, Allison, we're super excited. And without further ado, let's get into this story because it is wild. Now, while we will not, if you listened to the intro, some people may skip the cold open, but if you listened to the cold open, you know that we are doing a story about the very first televised exorcism, which is very cool. But there's a caveat, because this is part one. The televised exorcism is not going to happen in this first part. Considering I don't know how many parts this episode will have, or this story will have, I'm thinking probably only 2, but it might jump into 3. But considering that, I would very much like to warn you ahead of time. That's what you have to look forward to. And yes, it may be broken up. Hopefully this interview with Allison gives me enough time to finish. But I know you guys were worried, or were tired of waiting. She was tired of doing all the work, and I was tired of being a bum. So, we are...
Now you're just being an overachiever.
That's how I do it. That's how I do it. I go through periods where I don't do anything, and then all of a sudden I make up for it. That's how I work.
That works.
Now, you can't scoot in much. You can't see this. Let me show you our setup here. Clearly we are on our couch. I had to move the curtains because it is very bright
out there.
Very bright. And nobody wants Scary Story told in the bright. Look at us. We have one lamp. Technically, we have a ceiling fan, but I bet if I turned that off, it wouldn't make much difference. But we also have a guest. Now, you can barely see.
But there's a Zoe here.
There is a Zoe. Zoe, say hi to the people. Lift up your face and look at them. She said, no.
She said, no, please.
I don't want to look at them. There she is. Isn't she cute? Now, here we are.
And we don't move her. She's elderly.
Yeah, we don't tell her to get up at all. Like, she is, this is her life.
She was here first.
Look, you can see her little forehead. So, without further ado, our story begins July 25th, 1970.
Ooh, my birthday.
Yeah. It's not, guys.
Not even close.
Well, it's a little close. July, August.
Yeah.
25th to the 3rd. That's like, what, 10 days?
I was due July 31st.
If that. 10 days, if that.
And was born August 3rd.
Woohoo! Now, Ed Becker was on his way to look at a home that maybe he and his newly pregnant wife could possibly move into, that was in Chicago. And I kind of love Chicago. I like the setting. I like the area. Yeah. It probably stinks. The Windy City is what I believe it is called.
Probably does stink.
Now, really, the only reason they were looking to move was because their landlady made it very clear that she hated children. She was like, she wasn't about a baby destroying her drapes. She said, I bought these childproofed. I'll put asbestos in them if I have to. Remember, 1970.
That's true.
I believe, if I'm probably misremembering, but I feel like the 70s is when that one Fox Oriental Theater burned down, but it might have been the 40s. With the asbestos curtains that were supposed to be fireproof.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's the first thing that caught. These asbestos life-saving.
Of course.
Now he found that one listing that was available because some woman kicked the bucket. And he was just like, hey, thank goodness she kicked it. And the family did not want to keep the home. Now, this family is we're going to find out some stuff. Not like terribly revealing stuff. The idea is not the family, but it's just a fun dynamic to be like, I bought this house and now what crap is happening? Because when we get to one of the stipulations of what they had to do in order to keep the house, like to buy the house, I would be like, I'm sorry, what? So So the family didn't want to keep the house, so he went to the home, hoping that he would find the home affordable. Now, unlike other stories that we've covered, the home didn't seem to call to him. In fact, he didn't find it even remotely impressive. He just saw it as something that would be temporary. Like, he's like, this will get us on our feet. We'll be perfectly fine doing this stuff.
Ooh, we are big now.
Well, I remembered, we don't have anything on Google Docs for me to see. I'm all here. And if I'm reading off a script, you ladies and gentlemen understand that I am old and can't just retain all this information. I also wrote down my jokes, of which there are few.
That's good.
And none of them are Big James T.
He's so loud.
I know, but don't be too surprised if he shows up in the next episode, because now there will be two people or two families living in one home. And Big James T can't have that. You know, I'm sorry. He's going to have to kick somebody out. That's a crowd for him.
Yeah.
And both households will have babies. Newly born babies. He ain't about that.
Ew.
I'm honestly, I'm surprised that, I'm surprised Reggie Jackson didn't come out of the woodwork. You know how he feels about the elderly and the new. Like, he ain't about either side of those. If you're in the middle, you might be safe. But if you're an elderly person in a wheelchair, he will hit you into space. And if you're a baby, it ain't nothing to him. If he can hit an elderly person to space, you'll be meeting the Lord faster than anybody, because that's where he's going to bat you out to. The Lord. Anyway. See, I didn't even write those jokes. That just happened.
Oh, Lord.
So, he saw it as a temporary fix. You know, get my family stable. We have a place that we can afford. I work towards something different. Something better. And it was home that felt more like a tomb to him. You know, the sun was blocked by a tree, making the house seem foreboding. Shadows coming across. There's not any light getting into this thing. The grime was built up on the outside, and Ed wasn't wowed by its appearance by any measure. Vines...
Get a power washer.
Yeah, well, here's another thing. Vines covered the right side of the house. Now, to me, that would be like, awesome. But that's because I like a creepy aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, our cabin being so far back, I need to make it clear, if there was a better home here, I would like that as well. Because as nice as this house is, we are 5 and we have a 3-bedroom setup.
We're outgrowing our home.
Very much so. But the location, the fact that it's so far back off the road, there's a little bit of a long driveway. We're surrounded by trees. And then take this house out, right? Like, let's say your parents pass away, we're left this house. Take this house out. Now you have one house and some random garage made of wood in the back.
Right.
And then you take that house out. Now all you have is large property and one random
lone house
in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
Like, that's a creepy aesthetic. I like that. So the house having vines on the right side is just awesome to me. I also understand and make it hard to see out the window. But what are you going to look at? The big ass tree that's stopping you from seeing anything?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that tree. So, it looked like some sort of Halloween decoration. But the realtor comes and he sees Ed, and Ed's like, you know, he's like, Art's, the realtor is named Art. Art's like, all right, you want to see the house? And Ed's like, yeah.
I guess.
Sort of. I mean, I suppose so. Now, Art told Ed that they'd start with the second floor because the first floor apartment was still being lived in. And this is important. So is it like a duplex, sort of?
Well, no.
It's an apartment building, but the way it sounds is that the apartment building is only for 2 apartments. So I'd say it's a house, but one's in the bottom and one's in the top.
Where my great-grandma used to live, and then I've known a couple other people that lived around Winchester like this, but it looks like a house, and you think it's just one house, but then you go in and someone lives downstairs and then somebody lives upstairs.
Well, I think that's how it goes.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I didn't look up pictures for this house, but that's how it seems to be, is that there's a downstairs and an upstairs that people are living in, and they're both separate apartments, like they've been fitted for separate apartments. Now, this woman living in this apartment was not the healthiest mentally. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, really. Now, when they began to head up the stairs, the woman urgently opened her door. She was a very dirty old woman that was a member of the family. As she came out of the house yelling, "Bones! Cat skin! Real human hair!" As if she was on a street corner trying to get people to buy her wares.
Creepy.
I'm joking. That actually came from If a Body Needs a Body, called Birkenhair. An old cassette tape of a true crime that was committed in the 1800s when they ran out of bodies and started killing their boarders to sell to science. It's a really fun story, really. But I need you to keep that image in your head, because that's how they got caught, was this crazy old woman. She was like, "Oh, they killed," or her son found out they killed her, and they were like, "Ah, no, they killed the crazy human hair lady."
Well,
the crazy human hair lady is how I need you to think of her, because she is a crazy human hair lady. Let me tell you what, she seems like exactly the type of person. Like, as soon as I read more, I was like, this is exactly the kind of person that would sell cat skin, that would sell bones, that would be like,
on the street.
"I've got real human hair. You can make a jacket out of it. I've got so much of it." I'm just saying. But it was very clear that the agent was hoping to avoid this meeting, but it didn't happen. She was out. And the dirty woman, she was also holding a grimy little poodle.
Ew.
Still alive, dirtier than her. And she was angry and screamed at them to leave. So Art, being a bit of an alpha wolf, told her to get back into the apartment while she still had it. Oh!
Burn.
Forgot to cross that T too. Oops. Now, he didn't actually say that last bit, but it felt implied. It felt implied. Like, he said, get in there. Well, it's still, get it in there, you dirty old bag.
Oh, are you leaving?
Are you getting up?
No, I'm just stretching.
She said, I don't know. Ain't nobody petting me.
She clearly rules this house.
She does. She is the king of She is the king. Bit transgender, but whatever. She's got it. She looks good in any skin that she's in. Oh! Is there somebody in our room? Is there somebody in our room? Jacob? Okay, there was somebody coughing in there, right?
I heard that.
Where's Max?
Maxie.
Okay, maybe it was him. Woo! Scary times, guys. That legit sounded like somebody was coughing in there. I wonder if we got it on camera. Or got it on audio. Probably not. Now, where am I? Ooh, Zoe.
Ah!
No!
No!
Oh! So she's not incredibly dumb like
Alright,
Max.
look here. Now I can fix myself in this
Yes,
seat.
now you can sit. Ooh. Yes, now we're together. We're together and happy. As soon as you went gross, I went dark. Ooh. Now, This was, so this clearly wasn't his first interaction with this woman because of the way he was just like, ugh, get out of here. She went into her apartment and entered, and they entered the actual apartment upstairs. They go upstairs. Now, vandals had ransacked the inside of the home, not to mention the previous tenants left behind a significant amount of belongings behind. Of course they did. They died. Really wish I hadn't have written that sentence. They were dead. They had to leave it behind.
Well, most people have family to come clear out their stuff.
Oh, you just wait until you get this family. Now, it was completely trashed. Ed noticed a trap door leading to the attic. Red flag number 1, the realtor said there's nothing up there you need.
Yes, there is. There's
Fair
always
enough.
something up there I need.
So then they went into the basement with 3 makeshift rooms, one of which had a padlock on it. Red flag number 2.
Yeah.
Now the basement... Sorry. The basement smelled of smoke, but it was very clear nothing had been used for that. Ed thought about how strange that was because there hadn't been, the stove down there clearly hadn't been used. He was like, that's weird. Oh, man, hold on. Sorry, guys. There was a loudness happening that sounded like it was about to be a fight.
Welcome to spring break.
Woo! Now, unfortunately, I'm gonna have Julia hold this because I change ink, and it's sometimes hard for me to remember where I was. All right, so it didn't really make sense that the smell was there. He said it looks like it hasn't been used even longer than the actual house has not been used. Like, it seems like it was out of commission way before these people died. So he found it strange. It didn't really make sense, but also it wasn't like a large cause of concern for him. It wasn't like he was like, oh man. I like how you look much taller than me.
Well, because you're in the middle.
Because I'm fat and I sink.
And I have to sit up in the air and everybody could see my fat. Oh man, it's hot.
Why I started that? Because it was chilly.
Oh, you should just shut the windows.
Well, I mean, you can see it, yeah. Well, you can't see that now. Now, it didn't really make much sense, but unfortunately, the time for the tour had come to the dirty old hag's house. And Ed quickly went through the apartment. Now, when he went in, Ed felt a drastic temperature change just across the board. He was like, that's really weird. I don't like how this feels in here. He said he felt uncomfortable, but not like he felt uncomfortable because the old woman was out there talking to Art and shouting while he's looking around. So
Right.
he was figured, I feel uncomfortable because there's conflict happening outside the door while I'm looking at this woman's house to see if I want to buy everything and get her
Yeah.
out of here. She didn't ask for that person to die, but there she is, dead. And part of me wonders if the original owner, yeah, I know, she's been letting some farts out.
That's gross, girl.
But part of me thinks that maybe the original owner and her had like a similar condition going on, and the family was just like, oh, come on, get her out. Get them out of here.
Maybe.
But he felt a drastic temperature change. As soon as he entered her bedroom, it became even more apparent. And it was striking how cold it was in there in comparison to everywhere else that he'd been during the tour. With the exception of the basement, which had also been bone-chilling. Now, you left.
Come on.
Get up there, fatness. I like how they get to see how she struggles. Look, and then, oh, yeah. Oh, and then just sleep. Just like, oh, you know why? Because the stove's right there. That's what she's trying to get as close to it as she can. Oh, man.
She's not spoiled at all.
Not even a little bit. So when Ed and Art began going over the numbers, I was actually shocked at the price of this place. Because the Art said that the whole duplex, the whole complex, you want to guess? Give it a guess. 1970. Give it a guess how much it is. For a whole apartment building.
100,000.
In 1970?
Was it in Chicago?
I mean, I think that's still quite expensive during that time. But also, $16,500 is the price that they wanted for the home. $16,500.
You think that's a lot?
No, I don't.
Oh, I thought you meant it seemed like a lot.
No. 16,000 is a lot. We just had this
no,
cabin over here.
In 1970s.
No, in 1970, that still seems low.
Yeah.
To me. Like,
definitely.
If you had said 70,000, 80,000, I would have been like, okay, yeah, I could see that. 16,000 for a whole duplex?
No. I'd be like, what's wrong with it?
Yeah.
What's the issues?
Now, that's with a down payment of $825.
Ooh.
Right? Like, we could own a house with our taxes.
Right?
We need to jump back. It's time to go back to...
wonderful.
Let's go to the 50s, because if we got 10,000... Oh. But our money's different. We'd have to figure out a way to change the money back. Because our money is vastly different now. We'd have to take a check.
Yeah, we don't have pennies.
Well, they still exist. They're just not out there right now.
Yeah.
They're not making any more. What's the point? Now, we had the attic where there's nothing he needs to see up there. We had the basement, with the locked room.
You don't need to see down there either.
And we have a $16,500 house. That's red flag number 3. That should have been like, And I'm not saying, because Ed is not Lynn. He moves his family in. He has to do this. He doesn't have another option because his landlady hates babies because she's Satan. So he has to move. Whereas Lynn was like, I guess we'll just stay in this trailer park.
Right?
So, again, not as dumb as Lynn. And if you're wondering who Lynn is, she is the main character of our 5-part series. I don't even remember what it was called, but it was dumb. She was stupid.
What was that called?
Don't know.
I enjoyed those, but she was quite dumb.
Dumb. And she wrote a book, and she was a nurse. Something or other.
Oh, man.
What was it? What did we call it? It's a 5-part show. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a 5-part series.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
I can't think of it.
Even with all these red flags, I understand Ed's position more than I do Lynn's, because all she did was go back and live where she was.
Yeah.
Whereas he's like, I can't. My landlord is evil. So, within a week, a deal had been proposed and accepted. Now it was time to show his wife, Marsha, the home. Now, here's what I found funny, because the way that it seemed to be, the information was given in the research that I did, it seemed old Eddie Penny had not told Marsha that he bought a house. And we've actually had stories similar to that where the spouse comes home and is like, so
guess what?
Bought a house. And the husband's like, I'm sorry, you did what?
See, if I had money, I would be that person. I'd be like, guys, guess what?
What was the one story where that was the case, where the mother-in-law and the daughter went to go house hunting just to, And they found a house, and she made an offer and came home and told him, and he was like, what?
Yeah,
I didn't even know we were looking for a house.
we are now.
We aren't. We found one
Right.
by accident and bought it immediately. I do believe that would be a good motive for murder. You going to the judge being like, she bought a house, Your Honor. $300,000. She bought a house. That judge would be like, I'm sorry, did you say 300,000?
Right.
Yeah, and I don't have 300,000. We lost everything. Sounds like you lost an anchor. Now,
Sounds like a you problem.
but it does. It seems like he hadn't told his wife that that he bought a house, and the reason is because the reason that I think that is because it says very clearly that he was concerned about her reaction to its location because it was so close to the city, like it was in the city. What's going on? Is Oliver okay?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
She's just gossiping.
Oh. So when he took her to the home, he made sure to take a very natured road to soften the blow of, look, we're in the inner city.
Right? Here we are.
We're urbanites.
That I would be mad about. I'd be like, what do you mean you bought a house in the city? Buying a house is one thing, but you're trying to move me to the city? No, sir.
So this time they only intended to tour the upper apartment. Ed planned on renting out where the Queen of Dirt was currently living. And unlike Ed's visit the first time, the pile of walking insanity didn't come out. Marsha felt that while it wasn't an impressive house, with work it could be quite lovely, except for the weird cold that seemed to permeate the upstairs, the downstairs, the basement, all these things. Speaking of the basement, when they went down to the basement, both of them were hit with the same burning smell that Ed had. And something made Marsha feel wrong down there, and she said, I'm never coming down here again. And Ed, later it will come up like, where do we put the washer? And Ed's like, we'll put them in the basement. And she's like, no, you're not. If you want laundry done by me, you're not doing that, because I'm not going down there. You go. I won't do it. You can put the laundry in the kitchen for all I care. I'm not doing it.
Right?
Not down there. So
This stove is gonna make me go to sleep.
she just refused the basement altogether. And then Ed figured that it would be a different story once they cleaned it up. He was like, all right, we'll clean it up. You'll be fine. However, Marsha had no intention of setting foot back down there. Finalizing the deal took months. And by the time it was time... What? By the time it was closed. Okay, I said that stupidly. Alright, so it was time to close the deal. Alright, it was time to close the deal. But by that time, they had a newborn. That's what I was trying to say. They move into this house.
By the time.
Gosh. They move into this house. I know.
You people.
They move into this house with a newborn. The family slipped in one final... I'm sorry. What is going on? The family slipped in one final superstition. The basket case. What superstition?
Is that not supposed to be the word?
No. They put in one more stipulation. Superstition. The walking bag of insanity, the merry old hag, had to be allowed to live in the house with them for 90 days after the purchase. That's the weird thing. I was like, what? No!
Probably a court order.
I don't know that it was.
Like, because you can't just evict someone. You have to give them a certain amount of time. And, like, if, say, this woman is disabled, she gets more time.
She's definitely disabled.
Than 30 days.
And she's definitely got to be disabled. Because, not like disabled physically, but mentally there's something not right there.
And depending on what it is, you can get it extended for quite some time.
But, so they agreed to the stipulation and the sale was signed, despite all the squabbling the family of the owner had done. Now, here's something very important. I'm going to put my notes down right quick because this is very important. The squabbling. Each family member showed up to that sale with their own lawyer. Each family member.
Interesting.
And they were fighting with each other about the sale in front of him. He was like, I don't really get the dynamic here. I feel very strange. Just trying to buy this house, and apparently an old woman. She comes with the price of the house. So she, Ed was like, okay, so whatever. Ed and Butch, his lesbian construction worker, I'm joking, it was his brother, went to work making the place perfectly livable for a baby. The first project Ed wanted to get done was changing the locks on the doors. Now, this caught the old woman's attention, because she was like, hold on, hold the phone, how am I going to get home?
Yeah.
And she came out to inquire what exactly he was doing, and he had to tell her, I've bought the house. I'm waiting on your family to move you out to a new home. I'm changing the locks out here because this is my home, and I don't want you having any keys that'll get to me. And she was like, she cracked up. She started cracking up, just laughing. And in between the cackles, she told him that he didn't own the house. Are you ridiculous? Mainly her phrasing was, while screaming maniacally at him, was, we don't want you here! Which is creepy.
Yeah.
We don't want you here? Who, you and Ruffy? Your poodle has a problem with me? She then continued to laugh as she told Ed that he would never own the house before returning to her apartment. Now, from behind her closed door, she repeatedly said, you think you own this house? You think you own this house? You don't own this house. Ain't nobody own this house. And then Butch and Ed began painting the bedrooms upstairs, but as they were working, Butch kept glancing over his shoulder. You're about to fall asleep, ain't you?
This fire, you shouldn't have made it.
I was just trying to be helpful. We could do this. I'll open this a little bit, and I'll get it. Oh yeah! Watch how strong I am, Jules.
Ooh.
Oh yeah! And I'll bathe you in light and cold. How's that feel?
Okay.
Is that wonderful?
Yeah.
Oh yeah! All right, so
that's good for sleeping.
What? That's not supposed to be good. It's supposed to make you cold. So he just keeps looking over his shoulder, like, what is going on? And when Ed's like, what are you doing? What's wrong? Why do you keep looking over there? Butch said nothing. It's not anything. And it wouldn't be until later that Butch would tell him, okay, look, I felt like somebody was being watched. Or like I was being watched. He said, I'm pretty sure they're over there at that closet. I feel like I'm being watched. So Ed walks over to the closet, opens it, revealing an empty space. Well, almost empty. Almost empty. There was something leaning on the wall, and that would be red flag number 4, a Ouija board.
Ooh. Just hanging on the wall?
Not even hanging, just leaning against
it.
Now, they gave it a once-over, but quickly just chucked it outside. They're like, we don't need this.
No, not today.
And then they went back to work in the apartment. But soon, Hurricane Dust Bowl came laughing again. Like the most unhinged joker. But once she saw the work that the Becker boys had done, she broke down in tears. No idea why. It was as if we needed more clues to her insanity. She sees them working and is like, ah! Now Ed McMahon, kind soul that he is, helps her back to her own apartment, saying, "Get on out of here."
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Just trying to stay awake.
Oh. All right. Well, why are you... Oh, man. Do you want to pause?
No.
You say that, but you're going to sleep on camera. That's never a good look.
It's this wood stove.
It's never a good look when you're going to sleep.
It's the wood stove. Look at Zoe. She is also asleep.
Zoe sleeps if the day ends in Y, she will be asleep.
Me too.
I know. We're not even all the way out here, Jules. Look at this. You can't make it.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it. I got a lot of pages here. You're just gonna have to. We're gonna power through, people. If she falls asleep, she falls asleep. She'll watch at the end of this episode. She'll pretend like she didn't sleep at all. That's how it goes. So, where am I? Now, if you remember, in the basement, there were 3 rooms, one of which had a padlock.
Nope.
You don't remember that?
I do remember that, but no.
Oh,
That
I got you.
would come immediately off.
Well, that's exactly what they're doing. Ed and Butch Cassidy decided the time had come to see what exactly was in the room. They broke the lock and found... I know this is going to sound like one of my jokes.
Okay.
It's not. They found stacks upon stacks of porn magazines.
Uh-oh.
Playboys, Hustlers, other magazines that numbered in the thousands. I'm not joking. In the thousands. All of them belonging to some dude named Ben. Ben!
Get it, Ben.
They also found an antique plate in some coals of a fire, and then Ed found a jar of bullets sitting on top of one of the rafters of the ceiling. He put the bullets away and I mean, largely forgot about them until later.
Why were they on top of a rafter?
No idea. Also, why is that the weirdest collection of things in one room I've ever heard of? A plate in a fire, a bunch of porn, like a bunch of porn, like to the point that I feel like perverts would be like, dude, that's a lot of porn. That's a lot of porn. Are you sick?
Me?
Yeah. No. The pet, or not the pedophiles. Not clearly they are. So it seemed to his nose. Yeah, it was. There was a fully furnished room in that basement.
I smacked the microphone.
I saw, and it seemed to his nose that was ground zero for the weird, overpowering smoke smell that they had. And to him, it looked as if someone had been living in there. It wasn't until he started up the stairs that he remembered there'd been a What? There'd been a what?
A pita cheese.
I said podcast. It was supposed to say padlock.
Oh.
So he's going up the
That's a
stairs.
big difference.
Yes. He's going up the stairs and he remembers, wait a minute. If someone was living in there, why was there a padlock on the outside? And why did it look like somebody was living in there? So his idea was, okay, whoever was living in that room, they got locked in there. Like, on purpose, somebody locked them in.
Yeah.
Which, to me...
That's creepy.
And also a leap in logic. How does he know that? Ben, the porno connoisseur, could have been locking it up when he left. Could have been like, I don't want anybody to know there's porn in here. I'm going to lock the door.
Right.
Seems quite far-fetched to think the family would lock away the family pervert. And not moaning Mira, which is the crazy lady that lives in the... They're not going to lock her up.
Right.
With all her screeching and shouting. But they'll lock up the dude that's jerking it too much.
They probably should lock her up, too.
They should. Can't put her in that porno room.
Right. Do her some good.
By December 1st, 1971, the Becker clan finally moved into the upstairs flat. Butch was unavailable for the move, so Ed called his... Oh, man. This was fun for me.
Sound it out.
No. Ed called his blinded Vietnam War vet buddy, who was also injured. In more ways than just being blinded. Said, hey, can you come help me move the furniture? Help me lift
And he said...
and position the furniture. No, he was all about it. Nothing says easy life like being blind with PTSD. Yeah, so he's going to be like, yeah, you come here. The only issue was George kept flinching for no apparent reason while they were doing that. And while it was strange, Ed thought that maybe George was like running into cobwebs, so he didn't dwell on it too much. And that's until George suddenly shouted, "Who's there?" Which is a crazy thing for a blind person to scream. Because, how do you know? Now, there was only George, Ed, and another helper there, so his question was a bit confusing, to say the least. George would later say that while he couldn't describe the sound he was hearing, it had always stayed with him. It also seemed to be the start of their nightmare, because George kept feeling someone poke him in the shoulder and kept hearing a noise. That he was just like, okay, somebody's clearly screwing me over here.
Here comes Oliver on his tractor.
Now, the very first morning, Ed woke up and started brewing himself some coffee. And while that worked up, he went to the bathroom, plugged up the tub. He started the water and then went to his finished coffee. When he returned to the tub to get his soak on, he found the plug wrapped around the faucet, and the water had drained. Now, he was sure he had plugged the drain. He was sure he had done everything he was supposed to. But he let it go as he replugged the drain. This time, no problem. Eventually, he went to work and left his wife and newborn baby home alone. As time went on, he wanted to check on the new mother and the baby as he had gone, so he gave the house a ring.
Ring, ring, ring.
Problem was, the phone line was busy. Every time he tried to call, it would be busy.
Ooh.
That's
annoying.
Well, when he got home, he was enraged because they could not afford Marsha flapping her lips all day long. He was like, come on, woman.
Flapping them lips.
Oh. Marsha, however, was confused because she hadn't talked to anyone all day. So they go to the phone because he's like, I don't believe you. Then she's like, well, go look at the phone.
Right.
Because you can tell a person's called someone by looking at a hung up phone. I don't know why they went to the phone.
I don't know.
What was the point there? What was it going to be like? See, Marsha, your fingerprints are on this phone. He's got a little dust kit to prove her wrong. She's lied so much. He has a detective kit.
He's got a
for whenever she said something. But Marsha said she hadn't talked to anybody all day long. They go to the phone and found that it had actually been knocked off the holder. Now, if I were Marsha, I'd be a little put off on the marriage if my husband came home raging at me for something I didn't do. Like, I have a dad with a home, and your baby, don't play with me. Like, if I say, Dad, I want to
Pretty
come home,
much.
guess who comes home? Me and that baby.
Right?
But the next day was the same thing. The phone was consistently busy. And this did little to convince Ed that Marsha wasn't using the phone. Because he was like, okay, one day it gets knocked off. What about today? What, is knocked off the thing again? Come on, Marsha.
She just ain't hanging it up.
She ain't hanging it up, that's all. Now, the bad thing also happened again. So he's just having a bad day. And he's like,
And taking it out on his wife.
well, he hadn't even died. He's just like, I think you're lying, but whatever. Now, these issues really started to cause arguments until the bill came, revealing Ed to be a real horse's ass. And she was just like, see? The only calls are yours, man. I don't know nobody in this town. I don't know body. I don't know body. I don't know body. I don't know Benny. I don't know anybody. Now, his wife hadn't been on the phone at all. At the same time, while they were trying to solve this mystery, Marsha began to silently refuse to leave the kitchen during the day. She just would not leave the kitchen. She felt unwelcome by the vibe of the house, except in the kitchen. Odd thing was, the kitchen was also the same place she began to find clues of the haunting. She would find things out of place every day in the kitchen.
Like our stuff goes missing all the time.
Yes, but it would be every morning. The lights would flicker. The cabinets would swing open by themselves. Both Ed and Marsha individually came to the conclusion that it was just an old house settling. But eventually, Marsha couldn't hold to that logic, becoming convinced that the house was actually haunted. Eventually, she was like, okay, this doesn't...
Right.
Things moving doesn't explain with the house settling.
This is not making sense.
The house settling, all of a sudden, the salt shaker's on the table when it was on the counter. Or in the fridge.
Or their keys in the washing machine.
Yes, the keys in the washing machine. That was a weird one. December 20th was a big day for the Becker family, as it was the day their daughter was to be executed. Sorry, christened. My bad. Did not mean that.
Executed?
Well, christened. Might as well be executed. Ed also scheduled the priest to come to the house to bless it afterwards. Now, this is fun. Remember, on this show, we don't like the Catholic Church or their officials. All right? We don't. And it's because of stuff like this. Ed wanted the priest to come bless the house after the christening. He sends Marsha and the baby on to get the house ready for the priest. Ed comes home with the priest. And when Eddie and the pederast, priest, got there, they found the house locked. And he was like, what? That's not cool. It wasn't supposed to be locked. And as he tried to unlock the door, apparently struggling, which we've seen before, Myra appeared on the other side of the door, fuming. However, her ire was not raised at Ed. She was mad about the priest.
Why?
She stood staring daggers at the priest as she shouted obscenities at him. And they could see her through the door. Just shouting at him.
And I bet she looked like a psycho.
And then they finally get the door open. She's still screaming at him, but they just ignore her as they go upstairs. Once inside the apartment, the priest broke out the magic water, found nowhere in the Bible. And here's the thing. Respect the source material. Don't start adding stuff. Respect the source material.
I have to sit up some.
That's fair. Ooh. I'm about to make another kind of video. Burn them, burn them, burn.
I'm so very close now, though.
Burn them, burn, burn
But I
them.
wish you hadn't started a fire.
You've said that 500 times.
I know, but I don't want these people to think I'm just like nodding out because I'm drunk or something. It's the...
She does heavy drugs.
No. It's the wood stove. That's about to take me out. Here, Zoe. Get back over here.
So you can get closer to the wood stove.
Well, no, but I don't want to be that close to the camera either.
So he's like, well, now you're just back to where you were. This is how we started the episode.
But at least I'm not so slouched into the couch now.
This is how we started the episode. Oh, Zoe. Oh, man.
To get more air so that I don't sleep.
Now, the priest also broke out a copy of How to Bless a Home for Dummies. He went through and got the house wet, like the naughty priest he is, while saying a blessing, and all at once, and without visible cause, the holy water bottle exploded in his hand. So in silence and with great haste, the priest picked up the pieces of glass, and once that was completed, he was like, all right,
gotta go.
Get back, Jack, because I gotta bounce from this house.
Leaving.
Ed was upset because, he paid Jesus' assistant to be here for the whole hour. He paid for the whole hour. This dude got his mystical tease on without sealing the deal.
Naughty, naughty.
Ed tells him to at least bless his father's home or he'll call his boss. And,
Don't want to do that.
and you know how Jesus feels about fruitless trees.
Right.
So quickly, the priest went into the room, blessed it, and then made his way for the door. Like, see ya, peace. Oh. Now he had no intentions of staying for dinner. He had, I think. Oh no, I just need. Yeah, thank you. He had no intentions of being anywhere, so he was like, I'll see you guys later. While Ed thought maybe the encounter with the schizophrenia personified had rattled him, the truth was, old father playing close to the chest knew the blessing was useless to help them because of the way that bottle exploded.
Right.
Also, did he have a backup bottle? He's like, in case this one explodes.
So this might be a religious banter that you and I have later, but if holy water doesn't work, why did his explode?
Because it's scary? If you have, let's say you have someone has a set belief system, and within that belief system, when it comes to something scary, they expect it to act a certain way in order for it to be scary. So the scary thing acts within that set of rules to scare you.
I suppose.
That's what I think anyway. Now, on his way out, he tried to leave through a closet, mistaking it for the front door.
He was all flustered.
And in the kitchen, on a hook, hung a hand mixer that Marsha would often find on the floor. And she would find it further and further after this priest visit. She would find it further and further from the hook. And Ed told her that he would add the hook to the list of house repairs. However, the next day after Father O'Malley O'Finnegan McBride visited, Marsha...
What a name.
I know. Marsha watched as the hand mixer shook and then lifted itself off the hook, hanging in the air for a few minutes before floating several feet away and dropping to the ground. Marsha thought that something was telling her it was there, whatever it was. Ed was experiencing...
Telling her maybe it's time to bake me something.
Bake me a cake as fast as you can. Ed was experiencing something different in the basement. He would immediately have his hair stand on end as soon as he would go down there. He also felt as though someone...
Oh, my heavens to Betsy.
You suck, dog.
It's okay.
Max, go away. No,
Okay.
can you get him out of here?
He didn't mean it.
I know, but this is the second time he's fucked with this
But
thing.
he didn't unplug anything this
I
time.
don't care. Keep making excuses for
Look,
him to...
he's peeking in the corner. He said, please feel
annoying.
sad for me.
You see how this dog lays here and doesn't screw with anything? Even when she got down, she didn't screw with anything. He, twice now, has screwed with something just by moving.
That's
Ugh.
because he's my dog.
It's annoying.
I'm going to sleep. He's messing everything up. We
So-
don't have the same energy as him.
Oh my gosh.
His tail.
I don't particularly care for this dog. He's a nice dog. I like him enough, but when he's annoying, he finds ways to be extra annoying.
And he only likes me.
So, he felt like he was being constantly watched. You're about to drive me insane, too.
Sorry, bro.
Constantly watched.
In the basement.
Yeah. Oh, felt like someone was standing behind him all the time and just watching his every movement. Anytime he would check, all that would be there was a whiff of burned wood and sometimes the sound of a man and woman fighting. He figured maybe he was somehow hearing his neighbors. And even though Ed did not believe that they were being haunted, he would talk to Ben out loud while he was down in the basement, saying, hey, calling him a champagne masturbator, a prolific porno collector in all the lifetimes of anyone. He even had his own spank room. His family would lock him in.
What?
Spank room, spank room.
Oh. Ew.
Meaning, not Ed. Ben had his.
Oh.
These are things Ed is making fun of him. Like,
Well, I thought
oh, you
when
chronic
he said
masturbator.
spank room, I thought of like actual spanking.
No. It's spanking the monkey. You never heard of a spank bank? What did you think that was?
I never heard of one.
You've never heard of a spank bank? You're in mine.
What?
No. Ed only later wondered if this had pushed things a little further than what he intended. Because around Christmas, Ed's Aunt Ellen would come to stay with them. And they noticed her acting strangely. She would travel around the apartment seemingly in a daze. Ellen later asked Ed about the home and the family who owned it before, but Ed was just like, I don't know very much. They're insane. Lot of insanity in that family, I think.
Crazy people.
And she didn't really push any harder to find out more because something in the home, it made an effect on her. It made her uncomfortable. Like, to the point that she was like, all right, I gotta go home. I'm going home. And at the turn of a new year, Ed went out and got Marsha a husky puppy to give her more company while he worked. The dog's name was Holly, and she instantly started to bark at the front door and the back doors. She would do this every night as if she was trying to keep someone out. Things escalated further one night when Holly's low growling woke poor Ed from his slumber. He tried to calm the feisty Balto until he heard footsteps on the back porch. Ed assumed it was their nutty neighbor, so he went out to tell her to go back to her home, but found no one out there. The arguing that Ed had heard in the basement was now being heard right at bedtime, and Ed heard it on the back porch 3 times a week. The argument.
The 3 significant.
No, it's just
Like
just
3 knocks
no.
and
I think
everything.
it's just he's hearing it 3 times a week. Although I hadn't really thought about it, maybe. The argument itself, while indistinguishable, seemed to be the same argument every time. Ed heard it, same cadence, right at the same spots. It seemed to be a repeating argument. One place neither of the Beckers had explored was red flag number 1, the attic. They had not gone up there. That would never be more relevant than the day when a woman who Ed had never seen claimed to be a member of the previous family. She wanted to go into the attic to look for a baby crib, and the whole situation was very, like, strangers to Ed. Like, not to Ed, because he had never seen that movie, because it was old, or new, or you know what I mean.
It wasn't a movie.
Yeah, it wasn't a movie. But Ed didn't let her in. He was like, I'll go find the crib if you want. So he goes up there, he gets access to the attic from the same back porch he kept hearing things on. When he got up there, he found boxes of junk and a dark atmosphere, which, fair enough, there are no windows. It's going to be dark.
All attics are creepy.
Yes.
I
I wish we had one.
I know, it's odd that we don't.
I guess we don't really have
we do
the
have
space.
that vent that leads up there. There's something up there, but
Yeah.
not a place that we could store things.
No. Well, maybe. It's an HVAC system. He found no baby crib up there, and he did not want to spend any more time up there than he had to because it made him nervous. But he also was not able to tell the woman because he didn't have a number, and she never returned for the crib. The activity increased over the beginning of 1971. Doors would open randomly. The water plug continued its game of not gonna do it. And their cat ran from room to room, hissing as if being chased. Eugene, seriously. What? Eugene, that cat was alive. I'm looking right here. It was alive. No, I can tell from this story. You've always been horrible at your job. I'm looking right here. Cat's alive.
I'm trying to find us a new one right now.
What, a new
A new animal
wrangler?
Whatever you call him.
Dude, and it's not just us, bud. It's not just us. You were chasing this woman's cat. You made your way into this story. I know it was you. Because anytime an animal is running away, it's because of you. Every time. Because you don't know the difference between a living cat and a dead cat. Now, no activity stopped. It just compounded. Friends, family complained of busy lines. To those familiar with the dark cases, you may be recognizing, or this may be recognizable as an attempt to isolate the family. Let us not forget what this story is. It's the very first televised exorcism, so we know this is a dark story.
Right.
And this is very much a play, isolation. Even further down that path, Marsha and Mr. Van Halen, because of Eddie, began fighting about the cause of the disturbances, pointing fingers at each other. Even though Marsha was already on the haunted bandwagon, she was like, no, but it's your fault. It's your fault, Ed.
You made us move here.
And you found that creepy Ouija board that probably shouldn't have been pulled out of the closet. Probably shouldn't have touched it, but whatever.
You opened the attic now.
And you've opened the attic and the basement locked basement door.
All your fault.
Ed has done everything wrong at this house. And now that we've put it that way, Ed is this bumbling idiot that's just going through the house. He's Mr. Magoo, but ghosts. Like, he's opened the locked door. Oops. He's gone into the attic. That's open. Like, each different portal. Each room's a different portal. Dumb Ed, I'm sorry. And it got to a point. This swelled into a point where Ed and Marsha just stopped talking to each other completely. And when I say they stopped talking to each other, they didn't talk to each other for a month over this.
Man.
And both people were still having stuff happen to them, but neither one was talking about it to each other.
Of course.
And each person, I mean, they just witnessed strange activity for weeks while they gave each other the silent treatment. And then Marsha finally speaks her suspicions to her husband. Meaning, what's that mean, Jules?
What do you mean?
I mean, she spoke first, so what's that mean?
So now it's her fault?
No, she lost the argument.
Oh.
Everyone knows first one to talk loses. Everyone. It's a global. We don't make the rules. It's just it's a global marriage rule. First one to talk in an argument loses.
And we both talk a lot, so.
Yep. Do we? I do.
You do, yeah.
I talk more than anybody. You talk more if it's like a topic you're like into. So gossip.
No. And at night, I feel.
Oh man,
my,
at
like,
night you jabber.
second wind of energy hits.
I'll be trying to write something or read something, and you'll be like, and you know what? I don't even understand why we have to have fuel tanks. What are you talking about?
But in the mornings, and during the day,
It's the best time for you.
when
In the
it
mornings.
gets dark outside, I'm ready to go.
So, Ed felt that she was wrong. He blamed shoddy work on the original lunatic. Shoddy work on the original house build and the tension that Myra the lunatic added on them because she's not gone yet. He's like, listen, it's bad housing and that crazy woman. It's just making us a little amped
So
up.
all this stuff has happened in less than 3 months because she had 90
Yes.
days to move out.
All this stuff has happened in less than 3 months. They've barely been living in this home. Now, we also have to understand, while she's like, the house is haunted, and he's saying, no, it's this other stuff, he is living in a world pre-Exorcist, pre-Amityville. These movies, these things, they hadn't come out, so this kind of paranormal stuff was not on the zeitgeist
Right.
at the time.
You
For-
wouldn't even think about it.
Right. For him, ghosts were white sheets floating in the air going boo. Like, that's it. He wasn't interested in anything else. That's what ghosts were to him. And he wasn't expecting normal life things like misplaced items or busy phone lines to be haunted activity. Because that's normal.
Right.
Like, he's expecting normal ghosts like Casper the Friendly Ghost type things to happen. Now, because he didn't want to fight with his wife anymore, he decided to try and schedule a new blessing on the house. He was like, I know you think the house is haunted. I don't. But I got this guy in my back pocket. He's been real helpful before. So he calls the priest that blessed it before. But the dude refused. This is why I have a problem. The dude was like, what do you mean you refused? And he was like, nah, I'm 100% too scared to go back in there. I'm not going in there. No, he hit them with the surgeons. There's nothing else I can do. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Did you
Hold
do anything the first time?
Time out, though. Time out, because the priest is supposed to be able to channel the God more perfectly. The God. He's supposed to be able to channel God's righteousness, his holiness, more effectively than us lay people.
Right.
So you're telling me that you went in this house and said God isn't big enough? Because, dude, I think you might need to change your job.
Right.
You're like, I can't do anything else. You weren't supposed to be the one doing it anyway. You were asking God. So you're saying you asked God, hey, can you deal with this house? And
he
he's
said,
going to be
"No,
like,
bro."
no, I'm sorry, I can't.
No.
It's too big.
Right.
You're a bad priest. He's bad at being God's warrior.
Yes.
Like, he's bad at it. And that's why I don't like the Catholic Church, because they're like, no, sorry, we don't have enough God juice. It exploded the God juice, and now we don't know what to do. We're scared.
To be fair, I would be scared. I could never be someone who went into homes and like blessed them and did exorcisms and stuff because I would be so scared.
Right, but this is equivalent in my mind. This is equivalent of the U.S. government picking someone, training them to be a spy, to be a master at infiltration, at subtlety, just at all this spydom, right? Sends them into a country. And as soon as they get there, they come back and they're like, all right, we need you to go again. And they're like, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
I don't think I have the ability to do that. That's wild. It's all you have the ability to do. It's all you've been trained to do.
Right.
And you're saying, I can't do it. That's crazy. I love it. Anyway. So he told Ed, he said, I've already blessed the house. I can't do any more. Brother, come bless it again.
Right. What's the next step?
We have
Should
seen,
exercise it?
right, we've seen so many cases where someone comes back and is like, I think I can re-bless this house.
Right.
Let's do it. And then it doesn't work. This dude was like, no, I've read those cases. We're not doing it. I'm not wasting my time. So frustrated, he asked the priest, why are you so scared to come back, bro? Why are you so scared? Do you think the house is haunted? And the priest was like, I gotta go, and hung up.
Don't ask me those questions.
Well, it gets even better. So this guidance counselor of God would not discuss the issue any further. In fact, he told him the real class move was when he ended the call, he said, do not call me back ever again. He's got to see this dude at church.
That's awesome.
He's got to see this dude at church. And he's like, don't you be coming. You need to find you a new church. I hear...
You need to not work in a church anymore.
What's fun is the priest could be like, I hear there's really good things coming out of the Lutheran church down the street. He sends them to the Protestants. So... Ed said, why would I call you again?
You didn't help me.
I'm sorry. Hold on. This is my dad joke. Ed said, why would I call you again? Your name is Paul. Ha! Ha! I kill me. Ha! 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 The priest hung up.
He said, bye, Felicia. I don't have time for you.
Ed's bad day only got worse when he and Myra had a confrontation that evening. Now, when I say confrontation, it wasn't much of a confrontation. In fact, it probably made his day a little bit better. But she came out and told Ed, I'm leaving, and I'm happy. That way you can't break into my house and steal my things, and not even steal them. She accused him of moving her things around the apartment.
Huh?
So she accused him of breaking into her house,
And moving her stuff around.
like a crazy person. Like, not even stealing. He's like, that chair shouldn't go there. Just, can you imagine in everyday situation, a thief breaks into your house, you come home, nothing's missing, but it definitely has a different feng shui. Mm-hmm. My couch is now in the middle of the living room.
I'd be like, stop it.
Why are you keep doing this to me? What kind of thief are you?
Alone?
What kind of thief doesn't steal? He just moves the furniture, reorganizes. Now, she told him that the house is all his and moved out that week. And to Ed, this was a spot of relief in an otherwise stressful life as of late. But the funny thing is, her exit was just as dramatic as her entrance. She had to be carried out, kicking and screaming. And then once she
said she was leaving.
Right. She was happy to be. And then the next time you see her, she's like, no! I don't want to!
Changed my mind.
Now, Ed began to renovate the apartment so he could rent out to new people. And he was, despite the woman's dirty appearance and her apparent insanity, the dark, chilly ground floor apartment actually wasn't terrible. It was certainly lived in, but not the palace of insanity that he was expecting. You know, piles of poop everywhere,
Right.
that kind of thing. But still, the apartment had an unnatural chill, and Ed felt super uneasy while being there, and this was brought more to his attention considering everything they had been going through. He was like, maybe my wife is a little correct, but I don't know that I want to tell her that she's right, because that typically anytime you tell a woman she's right, it's just a bad time.
And if
You
you're
never get...
someone that doesn't believe
You don't
in
even care that I
ghosts,
made that joke.
you make too many jokes. They don't faze me anymore.
Fair enough.
But if you're someone that doesn't believe in stuff like that, it's hard to accept it.
Yeah. And he felt especially cold and nerve-wracked in her bedroom, which, fair enough, I'd be cold and
That's where
nerve-wracked.
she took all her poos.
Yes, that's where it was. Later, Ed went back to his apartment to clean, and while cleaning, he saw movement from the corner of his eye. And he thought, oh, my wife's joined me. The baby must be asleep. She's going to help me clean. This is
Not.
perfect. But when he turned, he saw no one there, so he just kind of brushed it off out of his mind. Until he, again, watched a figure walk past the kitchen. And then he ran to where he saw the figure and shouted, "Who's there? Who's there?" But no response came. He searched the whole building but found no one. And this put him in an increasingly unnerved state. But he had to keep going because March, the new tenants, were coming.
Uh-oh.
And thus ends part 1 of the Becker Haunted TV Hour. I hope it chilled you a little. It probably didn't chill you a little. Probably didn't even thrill you a little. But I hope it was interesting. Because from here on in, we are done with history and going straight into paranormal. I know there was actually quite a good bit of paranormal in this episode. I was worried there wasn't going to be enough, but it was pretty good. With that being said, guys, stay tuned for the end of this episode as we have a trailer for Nowhere attached to the end. And we're going to keep that.
If you have not read the book, you really need to.
Yes, you should. It's I'm only, I want to say 16 pages in, and I didn't want to go to sleep last night because I wanted to get to the part, and I was just like, I gotta go to sleep. And I mean, it's a lot for a book to make me not want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Harry Potter was the last time I didn't want to put a book down.
And I didn't know you were going to read it, so it's killing me to not
Tell me
tell
things.
you
Yeah.
the entire book.
Well, I didn't know I was gonna read it until
Her thing at Wordplay.
yeah, but only because she had said that it was a supernatural book. Like there is supernatural occurrences in the book, because I, as much as I like crime books and stuff, I have to be in a mood. Like, it has to catch me. I have to have already started reading it for the crime books.
In the Appalachian Mountains. What did you think it was?
What do you mean? What I
When
think?
I told you where the book took place.
What kind of book did I think it was?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was a crime book, just taking place up here,
Oh.
like in the mountains, because that's a cool. You can hide a lot of things in the mountains. I feel like
Very.
supernatural.
Yeah.
Well, I got that from the prologue. I was excited about the prologue, so it seems like it's going to be a good book. When I get done with it, we'll talk about it. We can even talk about it on the show. Clearly, we're going to have to get rid of Eugene Levy. It's I'm sorry, Eugene Lemon. We can't get rid of Eugene Levy. That's called murder. We're going to have to we've been talking about it for a while, but honestly, we can't get rid of him. He may pop up in episodes where he's chasing animals. Honestly,
Max
a lot of-
gave us an earthquake.
a lot of people really talk bad about affirmative action or DEI work, he is a DEI hire. And the reason he's not, you can see from our logo, he's not of any other ethnicity, but he does have a clubbed foot. Makes it hard for him to run. So we have to take that into consideration. That's why he gets rehired every time, because we can't say no. We don't ascribe to denying anyone any available positions in our company that pays nothing except spirit gold. They live on spirit gold. Also, you have to curl up your feet. If you've made it this far, you know why. Salty Garlic is out on the prowl, and she is hungry. And Zoe is too. She actually is going...
stretching right now.
She's
ready to get up.
Salty Garlic is actually going to train Zoe to be our new hellhound when it's time. So everybody congratulate Zoe. She's already got the furlessness happening here. Missing some. You can't tell on the computer, but so that's our episode. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Senator, stop the vehicle at Jefferson and Central in the Erie unit. Give it on Newton Holiday, frequency 1389. 43 is following code 37, vehicle 3 George, 93308. 13 35 in the unit.